Hello and welcome back to the Emberclaw Clan of New Reach and of course to RimWorld. Where we left off, we had a baby, which is exciting if I can select them. I don't actually know where they are. There they are. They are currently being fed by their mother. Absolutely fantastic. They are growing up nice and healthy. They are pretty happy. Honestly, everyone in our clan is pretty happy. We still have, unfortunately, the trees ravaged debuff. That should hopefully go away. I really don't think that fibercorn counts as trees. If it does, we have some serious problems. But we are currently working on getting ourselves a little bit more wood by reconstructing our dining room kitchen area with marble rather than wood walls, which should hopefully get us some resources back so that we can continue to feed and light up our colony. But I was thinking about my kitchen situation and specifically my fridge last night, and I think we need more storage. So I'm going to rip all of this out, replace it all with the large containers, which can hold 36 different stacks at a time rather than these being 24 if you move it over two different piles. So that is what I'm going to do first. Rip all this out, replace it with large containers, probably made out of, well, steel or marble is the question. Probably steel, if I'm being honest. I think that's going to be quicker to build. I don't know why I think that, but let's see. That takes 30. Yeah, that takes 232. So definitely steel. And that is going to be the first order of business. So I will probably speed through that as we get a mad tortoise coming in here. Hopefully they just go around and don't bother anyone and go into our traps. I might just, well, no, we'll leave it for now. I will probably deal with that at some point, but for right now, I'm going to jump into a time lapse as I fix up my kitchen storage. Keesol here can actually go ahead and gain expertise, which is fantastic. They are already our Thorne walker, so they get plant work speed 70% and plant harvest yield 30%. We could potentially go into harvesting, make it so there's no parts of the plant being wasted on harvesting, or we could do it on quickly sowing and harvesting large amounts of plants. That gives them plant work speed +5 every time they harvest, or every time they gain a level in this. This would give us an extra yield. Pruning is for trees that we don't currently have. We probably will get them at some point, but I don't know that Keesol will be the one in charge of that. And foraging really isn't all that necessary. So the question is, do we want fast or do we want more things? And they're already really quite fast. Work speed is +70. Harvest yield is only +30. This way we would get more out of our fibercorn, so I think I will actually go for harvesting. They should level up that skill nice and quickly. And once they get up to level 10, they'll have an extra 50% plant harvest yield, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to go with that and we'll continue on. And we actually have a marriage that I almost missed. Medic and Dragon II are officially getting married right now. If Dragon wants to, come in here and actually do the things. So a wedding ceremony is very nice to have. This is, I believe, the second marriage of our playthrough. And we have another couple who are currently engaged as well in, I think that's Lily and Katryan, who are also engaged. So this should give everyone a nice mood buff, especially for Dragon and Medic, who are going to get +40 for a little bit. Their mood is going to be ecstatic for a while. I completely missed that trade caravan. It is what it is. We are continuing to work on our kitchen. All right, we have some mad Thoraxodons, which isn't great, especially considering they're all spread out. I think I will probably just go for set everyone to be in the cleaned area for the moment, which should be absolutely fine. That'll mean no one walks outside our doors. If we go for the home, they can still go outside. Yeah, that should probably be fine. They'll have no reason to actually do that. And then in terms of our pets, they are all still in the pet area, which is absolutely okay. These Thoraxodons should hopefully just wander into our traps and deal with themselves. Once they're all dealt with, we'll go ahead and continue working on the kitchen. These guys are being a little bit risky with it. Heading up here to repair this trap, I'm going to quickly just draft both of these guys, bring them back inside our base, which will deal with that last one, then we can undraft them and reassign everyone to be unrestricted, which is fantastic. We also have, I think it was Dragon, who has a melee frenzy at the moment. And that reminds me that we should probably start actually using some melee things. So in our recreation, we have both the training dummy, which requires a little bit of hay and some wood. The wood we don't actually currently have, but we can also build a punching bag, which also requires wood. I'm going to build both of them. And I think I'm going to do it somewhere like in here. That space is already occupied. Apparently the torch counts. So I'll do, well, maybe we don't put it in there then. Maybe instead we put them out here. I think that works. So we'll do training dummy there, training dummy there, training dummy there, training dummy there, and punching bags in between. And I think that will be absolutely fine. They should hopefully start using those and go ahead and level up their melee skill a little bit, just so that we're not, you know, losing all of that skill. Your melee is currently at 6, yours is at 4.45, and yours is at 12. So we're not doing too bad. But yeah, I'm going to continue on for the moment. And we have Lily and Katryan also getting married now. They'll go ahead and grab their Emberclaw Clan glasses to celebrate the occasion. If you want to get your own, the link is down in the description below. But that is going to be absolutely fantastic. Everyone should get some serious, attended wedding. And then they might get that doubled because they've technically attended 2 weddings. Yep, there we go. Doubled 35 for absolutely everyone in our clan, which is so good. Apart from Ueli, who apparently didn't go to either wedding. So that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. All right, we have a raid coming in from the Opulent Kingdom. That is a decent number of them. Let's have a quick look. That is 13. I think we should be able to deal with that pretty easily. Our traps are mostly built. They are, in fact, preparing for a while, so we do have time to go ahead and queue these up. Who is my main builder? That would be Ueli, so I'll get them to come along here and prioritize constructing all of these traps to make sure that we are as prepared as we possibly can be. Go ahead and allow all. That is a wild goose egg that is unfertilized that we can go ahead and grab. Looks like our goose ran into a trap. It is what it is. So Ueli should come along here and build these traps up reasonably quickly before hopefully these guys actually attack. And then we can go ahead and deal with that raid somewhat easily. We have, how many traps do we have? Okay, they're beginning their assault. Let's go ahead and draft everybody, throw them down here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 traps. Are these guys Neanderthals? Because if they are, that makes it a little bit trickier, but no, it does not appear they are. So these guys will honestly probably flee before they even get to us, which is, you know, fantastic. I like not having to deal with raids because I'm not that good at combat, but here they come. We'll see how this goes. We should hopefully be able to grab some of these guys as well now that our hospital is nice and close. And they are all fleeing. I'm absolutely okay with that. Let's have a quick look through what we've got here. We have, you're good at crafting. You are a stoner and squeamish, but you know, we could always send you out to a mining colony or a crafting colony. I am considering making a mining colony as well. I'm just not 100% sure what I need in order to get steel from that, because that's probably what I'm most interested in at the moment. You're not bad with animals, but honestly, I don't know if we need someone else who's good with animals. You are greedy, which I don't love. A little bit of intellect. We could also go ahead and set up an outpost for research. That's always an option. You are unrecruitable, you are dead, and you are dead. So yeah, maybe we could take a couple of them. I'm considering taking Hughes. Let me just quickly look up the Vanilla Outpost expanded rules again, and I'll figure out whether or not we can actually create a mining outpost. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so I definitely think we can go ahead and use them to do that. You're bleeding out in 2 hours. Does anyone else have some mining skill in here that could be useful? It doesn't look like it. Otherwise, maybe the intellect person, but I'm not sure that I'm ready to set that up just yet. So I think I will go ahead and use a Lengsnish and send him off to a mining colony so that we can start getting a little bit of a passive income of steel or marble or granite or whatever we need, because mining on this map is going to get harder and harder. So let's take everyone off draft. Let's draft medic, allow all, and I will go ahead and use stabilize on them. We'll capture them and go from there. Hopefully medic gets there in time. I do want to eventually build a bridge out here just so that we can do this a little bit quicker, because you currently only have an hour left. Medic should be able to get there in time and do this. Are you doing the thing? Why are you waiting so long? Stabilize. Stop. Stabilize. Could you seriously not stabilize from there? Okay, go there. Stabilize. Thank you. Oh, that was close. And then medic can go ahead and strip them and then capture them. Perfect. Easy peasy. The rest of these guys we will go ahead and strip, and then we'll finish them off if they are not finished off already. Dispose of their bodies as we usually do. But for right now, we're going to continue on with our kitchen and getting this guy recruited. We seriously still need wood. At this point, until this grows, that's going to be tricky. So I think for right now, I am going to harvest a couple of trees and do it as far away from the main base as we can, just to, you know, spread it out a little bit. Hopefully these trees are helping. If we jump into their needs, they have remarkable trees. So that is good. But they are still getting the -20 from trees being ravaged. I'm hoping that just harvesting this small amount won't count as ravaged. Maybe we'll get a slightly lesser debuff, but we'll see how that goes. For right now, that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to harvest some of that and continue working on the kitchen. All right, it's currently a heat wave. Nanan is not very happy in here. I am going to go ahead and build another passive cooler. The question is, can I build that out of anything but wood? No, I cannot. Okay, well that is unfortunate. Now we are going to have to remove these trees here eventually, because these are going to be bedrooms and we specifically need a bedroom for Nanan. So I will go ahead and order a harvest of fully grown trees up here. It's not going to be super like a ton of trees, but it should at least help out with getting this done. Especially if I can prioritize working on it and cooling Nanan down, because I don't want them to be super hot. They are hot, hungry, slept in the heat. That's not great. It is now 39 in here. It looks like it might be slowly going down, or at least staying stable. It's currently 52 degrees outside, which is not great. Everyone's starting to get heat stroke. Thankfully, it's all just initial heat stroke, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Ilarius is doing something weird. Let's just stop that for a second. Stop doing weird things. What are you doing? Why? Oh, there you go. You've unbugged yourself. Perfect. Hopefully this heatwave doesn't last for too long. 36 is not great, but it's better than nothing. This still has some fuel left in it, so that's good. I did not mean to zoom in like that. I apologize. So yeah, we're going to keep an eye on that and then continue working on the kitchen. And we have our first people actually using the dummy. So if we jump into their bio here, they should be getting some melee skill from that. Yeah, it's not a ton, but it's a little bit. And it'll at least prevent them from losing some of their forgetfulness. Anders actually has apathy, which is apathy for melee, which is not great, but you know, it is what it is. You are life-threatening heat stroke. Okay, that's not good. That is not good at all. We should probably go ahead and build a passive cooler in our prison as well. The question is, do these cell walls actually contain coldness? That is my question. I'm going to move that over here. I think that makes more sense. Cancel that one. And I will go ahead and prioritize that, assuming we can get some wood, which might be a trick. Let's go ahead and reharvest all of that. That'll give us the stumps, which is not going to be a ton, but hopefully it'll be enough. Yeah, you're struggling for sure. We also don't have any coolers in our hospital now, I'm just realizing, which is probably a mistake as well, but you know, it is what it is. We're working with what we've got. These are currently 57%. Yeah, it's rough. We do have an ambrosia sprout coming up though. Right in the middle of my... Okay, well that's annoying. They will probably all get cut down because that is not where I want them to grow. Eventually we might get another one, but for right now, it is what it is. Can I use Word of Trust on you yet? No. Why not? Okay. I'm not sure why I can't use that on you. I should be able to. Maybe it's because you're sleeping or hurt. But yeah, that's not ideal. Ueli, can you do that yet? No. No, you cannot. Okay. We're going to wait for a little bit more wood to come in and then try and get this belt. And hopefully this guy doesn't die. If he does, it sort of is what it is. But I would prefer it if they didn't. Alright, the heat wave is over. It's back to 27 degrees in our prison, which is fantastic. Medic has gained another level of Psycast, which is good. The question is, do we want any of this? That is the question. Mindbreak could be interesting. Word of Alliance... Proving their relations, probably not. Word of Pain or Binding Pulse. I'm just going to upgrade that for now. Give him a little bit more heat. Give her a little bit more heat and go from there. Yeah, you're now getting a little bit better, which is good. You can now walk again, and it's cooling down. So that is fantastic to see. We just have a Eltex meteorite. I think it killed something. But we will go ahead and mine that vein, since it's right in the middle of our animal pen and I just don't want it there. I heard an animal die as this came down. I'm not 100% sure if they did. But yeah, we're going to mine that and pretend like it never happened. Hopefully nothing important died. All of these are now finished. We actually have 54 wood left in stock, which is fantastic. These are growing up. We missed some quests. Katryan wants to do some trading. Everything is just going swimmingly at the moment, and this is slowly but surely coming together. All right, we officially have a new recruit. They have the rebel trait, and will roll their eyes and take it easy when doing any task they're being forced to do. That should be okay because they are immediately going somewhere else. In terms of their gear, they're wearing some cloth tribal wear. That is enough for me. I'm going to jump to the world map, and we are going to send a caravan and start our very first mining settlement. So form caravan. This needs to be in either mountains or hills. So I guess there should be fine. That is temperate forest and the terrain is mountainous. That should be absolutely fine. They have marble and slate. Is there anywhere that has marble and granite would be nice. I don't know if that makes a difference, but you know, it would be nice to have if we can find it. Marble, limestone. What is this? This is a steelwork mining site. That's okay. Terrain, please. Marble, granite, and sandstone. So I might send them over there instead. Let's send the caravan there. This is going to be Lengnishk. That is all you're going to get. And you can take some fine bakes with you. Sure. But don't take any medicine. We will send you on your way. You shouldn't take too long to gather all of that. And we can start our first mining outpost. Our kitchen is pretty much done as well. This is the setup we're going with at the moment. I might eventually go ahead and organize some of these. So we have like, I don't know, celery storage in the back, some flour, and then our meals go up the front. At the very least, I think I would like finished meals to be going up the front. So I'm going to unlink these guys, link them back up, go to storage and say clear all, no rotten, and I would like any meals to go in there. And I think that should be good to go. That way they don't have to walk in as far to the kitchen to get their meals. All of the other stuff is going to be, you know, what it is. This can hold corpses that aren't rotten, and we should be good to go. And then I'm going to have 2 of my freezing units in here. If we need more, we can add more storage to the middle of this, but if I can help it, I would like to keep the walkway. The only other thing that I need to do in here is make sure that this is important over preferred. That way, if we have any excess meals, they can continue working their way back into the rest of this. But we do have a Smilodon hunting Keesol for food, which is not great. Keesol is all the way down here, so they should be okay. That looks actually kind of scary. It looks kind of big. Let's go ahead and get you back in the base. At the very least, I'm going to draft you, bring you straight back in. And hopefully, okay, let's quickly set everyone to be in the clean area only so that you don't run. Oh, you're leaving the map, so that might be okay. You're only just going to get back in, and then hopefully you'll go over some of the traps. And no, you're smarter than that. All right. Keesol can be drafted with anyone who has a bow, please. Draft everyone, get them in here as quickly as possible, and hopefully we can take this thing down. Because it looks scary. Do you have any abilities? No. You're currently doing an aimed shot. That should be okay. Why is nobody attacking? You're watching for targets. We need to do a hunt, and we need to do a drafted hunt to get them actually shooting at that. Get a couple shots. Perfect. We took it down. That was a little scary. I will go ahead and cancel that, finish you off, select everyone, undraft, schedule. Everyone can be unrestricted again, and someone should hopefully go and finish them off at some point. We'll allow all. They got revenge, and you have a major break risk, but you're off the map, so I don't think it matters all that much. And you should arrive at your destination very, very soon. Perfect. Kitchen is 1 tile away from being done, so that is fantastic. What's next? I think what is next is perimeter walls. I don't think these palisades are going to serve us for too much longer, just because people can burn them down, and I don't want that to happen. So, as well as getting a bridge in here that I said I was going to do before, I'm going to have a bridge there and a bridge there, just so that we can get to the people who get down by our traps a little bit faster. I think that's going to be good. I will start going ahead with granite walls around, well, firstly, just around all of this. I think that's going to be a good idea to get that all properly secured. And then once they've finished that, I'll go ahead and assign basically the rest of the outer perimeter wall to be done as well. Now, research isn't happening at a speed in which I would like it to happen. So I might go ahead and take a look at who is researching and whether or not they can do it a little bit faster. So for instance, medic probably doesn't need to be on plant cutting anymore. So let's take them off of that, or at least lower the priority down to 5. Research can go to 4 for you. Keesol very much should still be doing the plant cutting. Miranda should probably still be doing mining. That seems important. Although they would be happier if they were doing research, because they are a dirt mole and they hate the sun. But I'm going to leave them on mining for the moment, just until we get this mining camp set up, and then we might adjust it from there. Dragon, you are hunting, managing. You can continue to manage, but again, I'm going to take you off plant cutting a little bit. So put all of those up to 5 and bring our research down to 4. And that should hopefully speed that process up just a little bit more, because I would like to get these freezers done very quickly before all of this celery goes off in 15 days. All right, Lengschnisch is officially at their outpost location, so we are going to set up a mining outpost. Places a temporary autonomously led camp that specializes in collecting and processing stone or metal, can only be placed on hills or mountains. Once an ample amount is collected, a delivery will be made to the faction's primary colony. So we'll create that, and we can set what we want them to actually mine. Unfortunately, we need 15 skill in order to be able to do steel, but that's okay. I think I might set this to granite blocks for the moment, because we are in the process of building our outer wall, and that will free up some stone cutting tasks for Anders as well, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. So we'll set that to that, and next time we get a miner, we'll send them out there. I'm also tempted to just send Miranda out there. She has 16. We will go ahead and add Miranda back to the Wheel of Names if we do send them off there. Because they're really not doing too much else in the colony. They are assigned to do art as well, because they are our best artist, I believe. But if we need it, we can always get Keesol to do that. I am tempted to send Miranda out there. It'll be another mouth that we don't have to feed. Yeah. I'm very tempted. I think I will. Well, yeah, that'll get me metal. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Should we send Miranda out there, or should we wait for another raider to send out that we don't have as much attachment to? The only thing that I don't like about Miranda right now is the fact that she has the intense UV sensitivity, which is not great for a miner, but if she's in a mining colony, she won't care. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments down below. Medic is officially pregnant. Congratulations. That is going to be a brand new baby for our colony. Very exciting things. The fiber corn is also currently in the process of being harvested, and I think we're going to be okay. I think this is going to be enough. With all of Keesol's bonuses, we should be all right. Prima Donna, who is our Mega Sloth, is got the plague, so that's not great. I am going to go ahead and do a word of immunity on Prima Donna here, who was named by Stefan. That was a randomly generated name, and I absolutely love it. And then after they've done that, I will go ahead and prioritize tending, just to make sure that our Mega Sloth is going to be okay. And as you can see, that green bar is raising a lot faster than that red one, so we should be okay. And that is good to go. Everything is running pretty smoothly. They are still currently working on these walls. We'll harvest all this wood up, and then we'll go from there. And we officially have Republic thermoregulation researched as well, which is going to be so good. The next thing I'm going to work on is food preservation, so that we can start drying some of our meats, which is going to be great for when we do caravans. We're going to have some jerky on the go. But for right now, we need to go ahead and place these down. So these are the large passive coolers. I'm going to throw 2 of them down. They're going to require 150 wood each, which is a lot, but it'll stop all of this food from rotting, which honestly isn't too far away. We select all linked about 13 days, 92 for the flour. We're storing some kibble in here, which we absolutely should not be doing. Let's turn that off. And check if there's anything else that shouldn't be stored in here. Smoke leaf joints probably don't need to be in here, but they can stay there for the moment. I think that'll be absolutely fine. And yeah, we can continue on. Well, it looks like this maybe isn't enough to freeze this entire room. We might need 1 more passive cooler, so I guess we just go ahead and deconstruct this guy and throw it in over there, because this is only getting it down to 12. I think 1 more will do the trick. Question is, will we have enough wood for that? And the answer is probably going to be no. Keesol is working on getting us more, but yeah, it's gonna be tight. Yeah, we now officially have no more wood. So wood is a real struggle at the moment. So much so, everyone's in a great mood. I don't think it's going to matter if we ravage a few more trees just to get that done. So I'm going to schedule that up. This should get deconstructed here in a moment once they finish all of this, which they are very close to doing. And we'll go from there. And finally, we might actually have a freezer. Okay. A dangerous psychic entity caused disturbance on subatomic levels, resonating across all particles of the atmosphere. A seemingly endless supernatural rain has begun, altering the very composition of time. Any person or creature not under the roof will age significantly faster. It will last anywhere between a season to several years. That's not good. I mean, most of our things are done in here, right? And we can probably go ahead, do zone, and say build roof area. And I'm going to build it anywhere my paths are, right? I think that makes the most sense. So we'll start with that area, come up all the way to here. Cannot build a roof over a birch tree. Hopefully they just cut that down. And then all the way over here. And this is going to be unsupported, so we can't really build a roof there, but we can build a roof in between here, up to here, and we'll even build a little bit of a roof over the top of that. This can't be roofed because, you know, plants. But hopefully that helps. How much faster is my question. Is it going to tell me? Bio 53. I don't think it's going to tell me how fast they're aging, but that should hopefully help at least a little bit. It is going to be dark in those pathways, but hopefully they're not spending too much time out there and it'll be okay. That is going to be my solution for now. Whether or not we keep those roofs, I don't know, but yeah, that is going to be interesting. A season to several years is rough. We'll see how that goes. We have a couple of thrombos wandering in here. Now, I wouldn't mind trying to tame... Well, I didn't mean to remove them. Presets... load... Default? Okay, well that's unfortunate. In terms of tame chance... I don't believe they'll attack us. Thrombos, yeah, will not attack us for trying to tame them, so I'm going to schedule those guys to be tamed. I doubt very much that we'll actually be able to do so, but I don't want to kill them, so if we can tame them, fantastic. If not, it is what it is. Stefanton's trying. Let's zoom in here and see how they do. Speed it up a little bit. Doesn't look like it's going very well, but you never know. No. There was a 1.7% chance that that worked, and of course it didn't. But it is what it is. If we manage to get one, fantastic. If not, it is what it is. I don't know what the problem is out here, but for some reason, every now and then, someone just gets stuck like this. And it looks like they want to go somewhere, but they can't, and I don't understand it. Drafting them and undrafting them doesn't work. Stopping them doesn't work. I believe it's probably something with my cleaning settings. If I set that area to clean, yeah, I don't know. I might even go ahead and try clearing the allowed area. Actually, this should be in here as well. Everywhere else is fine, and then I'll clear any of our paths because they don't really need to be cleaned, let's be honest. We can leave all of that to be unclean, and hopefully that fixes the problem. If it doesn't, I would love to know if you guys know what is causing that in the comments down below, but if not, I guess we'll just deal with it. It's a little bit of a loss in efficiency, but you know, it'll be fine. All right, our freezer is officially freezing. If we jump in here and we select all linked, now nothing is going to rot and we are going to have plenty of food. In order to maximize the yield in here, I am also going to increase the limits for all of our cooking by 2, mostly 2. And that should be absolutely fantastic. That'll just mean we're using up more raw resources than anything else. I might even increase that for the lavish meals a little bit more as well. So we're using that celery a little bit more efficiently because all of that will then go into these 2 boxes here, which obviously are going to be able to hold more if we have, say, 20 of these ingredients in one single meal that's in a stack. So, you know, you guys know how RimWorld works. But that should be good. That should be good is the main point of that. Next thing's next. Nanan is getting to the point where they're going to need a bedroom soon. So we should probably actually start building that. I'm going to build that out of marble. They can sleep right in here. I think that'll be absolutely fine. I'm not going to build these just yet. I'm going to leave this as the same as everywhere else. And we can basically just copy and paste this whole thing over. But we might actually give them a regular bed because, well, we should probably start doing that anyway. So that'll go in there. And we can grab our wash basin and our toilet, spin that around, and that is pretty much a bedroom complete. After that's done, I think we'll continue, well, I was going to say we'll continue working on the walls, but that's going to get everyone out in this psychic rain. So instead, I might start actually flooring all of our bedrooms, which will make, again, everyone just that little bit happier. Alright, food preservation is officially complete. A royal tribute collector is coming on by, and we need to choose our next research. And I think the crafting bench is going to be particularly important. After that, I think I'm going to go for some kind of armor, and then we should have enough research to actually progress to medieval, I believe. So that is very exciting. We're going to continue on with that for a little bit. And we need to go ahead and grab our kitchen and start putting in some meat drying racks. Now, of course these use wood. Why wouldn't they use wood? We have 631 available. I think I might just go ahead and suck up the debuff that is from ravaging trees and we'll get this done. And I would like to put a whole bunch in here. Basically line this entire room with meat drying racks. Might be a little bit excessive, but I think it's going to help in the long run to have that jerky available for us to use. And in doing so, we might even want to increase the limits on some of our animals. I'm just scared. I'm not scared so much, just I don't want the TPS lag that comes with having a whole bunch of animals. I think we'll just leave it for now. We have 234 meat available to us. I think it'll be okay. We can live on vegetarian meals, vegetarian bakes, all of that sort of thing, and not be too upset about it. So yeah, let's go with that for now. They'll build that, and we'll come back in a little bit. We also, Anders has officially completed the crossbows. So we can go ahead and actually reassign everyone to have crossbows instead of recurve bows. So I'm going to rename this to crossbow. I'm going to take off the recurve bow, take off the ammo for the recurve bow, and we're going to grab ourselves the crossbow. And I would like you to have steel crossbow bolts. Let's say 20. They fire a lot slower, but they should be a lot more effective against any kind of armor. And then we can also do the exact same thing for the recurve bow handler. This will be crossbow handler. Take off the recurve bow, take off the ammo, put on the crossbow, add steel bolts, and let's say 20 for you as well. Throw those up there, and that should be good to go. Great bow can probably be deleted at this point, and short bow can be deleted at this point. And now everyone should have crossbows rather than recurve bows, and that should just generally be an overall improvement to our ability to kill things, basically. Alright, Lily currently has inspired trade, and we have a person here who doesn't really have a ton. But because we have Inspired Trade, I am going to buy pretty much everything they have, including their pemmican. I'm going to leave the cloth burqa for now. I don't think we particularly need that. And then I might get rid of a bunch of my cloth. Now, I understand that we're not going to get a whole bunch of money for this, but I'm going to get rid of 3,000 of my cloth as a little bit of a gift to them, as well as get rid of a whole bunch of my weapons that I no longer require, just to clear things out a little bit more than anything else. I understand that I could be making silver with this, but, you know, it is what it is. So I'll keep some of the good stuff, I'll sell everything else, and we will go from there. All right, we have another anima linking ceremony ready, and I think Lily deserves to have some psycasts. Specifically, I want to give her the empath skill tree, just because that is going to allow us to do a couple of things. Specifically, Word of Serenity, which is second tier in that list, and it gives you calming words and psychic suggestion to end a mental break on a person or animal. And I think that's going to be absolutely fantastic to have. She can also, you know, improve people's moods, things like that. I really feel like that fits her character just a little bit better than anything else that I could do with the psycasts at the moment. So that is what we're going to do with Lily. We are going to grab the empath tree. And the first thing we're going to get is Word of Joy. Basically, the Joy Fuzz will suppress uncomfortable thoughts and sensations in the target to improve mood. This has the side effect of dulling sensation and decision making, which reduces consciousness, but we need that in order to be able to move up to Word of Serenity, which is what I really want for Lily. So I think that's going to be good in the long run. Alright, I am also going to take Anders off of making leather armor. I think what I would like to do is actually do a little bit more work on my apparel policies. So currently most people are wearing cloth backpack, cloth tribal wear, and whatever else they find. I want a little bit more, I don't know how to say it, granularity in the way that I assign clothes to my colonists. So I'm going to create a new apparel policy. This is going to be for ranged. I'm going to create a new apparel policy. This is going to be for melee. And we are going to assign everyone based on what they have. And in terms of what they're going to be allowed to wear, I'm going to clear all for both of them. I am going to say, don't wear anything that is tainted. Don't wear anything that is, well, yeah, that'll be fine. And then I'm just going to set them to basically have all of the things that they currently have. So ranged are going to get quivers. We're going to have backpacks allowed for them as well. I will go ahead and throw on the load-bearing gear backpack as well. I don't know the difference, but I think that's going to be good. For right now, everyone is going to be wearing tribal wear, and everyone is going to be wearing a helmet, which I believe I got to unlock. Yeah, perfect. Simple helmet for everyone. And then for melee, it's going to be basically the same thing. I'm actually going to copy this, remove the melee policy. This is going to be the new melee policy. And they are going to be able to wear leather armor as well, just like so. And that should give everyone all of the things they need. Let me just quickly double check that we don't have anything else that I am clearly missing on that list. Yeah, no, that should be okay. You have some boots on, could be nice. Veils, things like that. Yeah, I don't think I want anyone wearing steel plate armor. I think I want to make everything ourselves. You have pants. I'd rather everyone just be uniform and wear the same thing. That way I can control temperature a little bit better. And in terms of temperature, for all of my ranged people, I think I would like to give them something like a poncho or coat. We have tribal poncho here. If we have a look at this, details, info, change material to pigskin, if I can find it, which I never can. I know it's one, there it is, found it. This will give everyone a tiny bit of armor, but it'll also give them insulation from the cold and the heat. So I think I will go ahead and do that. I'm just going to do until X. Do until we have 2 in stock. Don't count equipped. look everywhere, 51% or above, normal, only allowed ingredients, clear, and I want that to be pig skin, which we should have a decent amount of. Close that, and then we can go back into our assignments, manage apparel policies, go into ranged, and say poncho can also be worn by you guys. And then we'll sort by current loadout. These 3 are going to get melee, and the rest are going to get ranged, and they should, in time, figure all of that out on their own. Perfect. Now that we also have cider, I should probably go ahead and assign that to be used if we need it. This medic one can now probably be deleted, and I will go ahead and look for cider, which should be in here somewhere. There are so many things. And I say you guys can have that every, I don't know, 3 days if your mood is below 50%, and that should help boost the mood a little bit as well. Now, in terms of, safe dose for intervals is always safe. So let's say you can have that 2 times a day. No, let's go for 1 every day. Let's have a look at this. A barely alcoholic beverage meant to be refreshing and fruity. Try as anybody might, it is pointless trying to get inebriated by cider alone. Thus, it is popular amongst those with prior addiction. Interesting. Okay. So, yeah, I guess you can have that 2 times a day if your mood is below 50%. That should be fine. No one will get addicted to cider, which is good to know. All right, we have a bulk goods trader here. I am again going to sell all of my junk, but I'm also considering selling them some of my celery because we currently have 11,000 and I don't think that is particularly necessary. If we give them about half of that, well, let's go a little bit less. 4,000, that's pretty close. And we're gonna grab some toxalote meat, some iguana meat, all of their seeds and all of their wood. And I think that's going to be about it. I will again go ahead and give them all of my junk, like my bird skin I don't need, things like lizard skin I don't need, thin dinosaur hide, well, I think this is actually really quite good fur, so I'm going to keep that. But otherwise, they're going to have pretty much everything else. Yeah, everything else. And I'll give them all of my junk clothes and the clothes that I don't wear as well. We just quickly double check that we don't have anything in here that we want. Cloth tribal wear. Are we still using cloth or are we using pigskin? That's a great question. I'm going to keep that for now because I'm not sure of the answer to that question, but that is going to be good. We're going to get 1168, a little bit of a reputation with them as well, and confirm. 9 to 15, absolutely fantastic. And let me just quickly check on my tribal wear. What are we making this out of? We are currently making that out of cloth. Is that a good idea? This gives us 0.03 and 0.04, 9.9 and 9.9. If we change this back to pigskin, it's going to give us a little bit more armor, but not as much insulation. I think I'd prefer the insulation because our temperature regulation in this base is really not fantastic. So that's going to be fine. And then we can continue making the tribal ponchos as well as our simple helmets. For some reason, I hadn't actually set all of these up, so they're set up now, and that should be good to go. That should be fine, and everyone should get cracking with all of that. I also am going ahead and putting marble slabs in all of the bedrooms. I know it's not going to look the prettiest, but they do have a beauty of 3, so that should keep everyone nice and happy, and we will go from there. Actually, before I forget, these are all officially finished building. Now, unfortunately, you can select all of them, choose ingredient, insert meat. They will go ahead and insert meat into there. The only thing we need to make sure we do is go into all of these and say, don't use jerky, which is going to take me a little bit, but that's going to be okay. I will go ahead and disallow jerky in all of these recipes, just so that we're not using it in replacement of meat. Because that would be bad. So I'll come back once that is done. Perfect. I've also set up my jerky to be all stored in here, which should make things a little bit quicker. We don't have a ton of meat to use. We have 519 at the moment, so we'll probably be eating mostly vegetarian meals for quite a while. And should we rearrange this? I did put limits on all of the young, just so that I don't have TPS lag, but I think I'm actually going to turn those off. We can have as many young as we want. Currently, we don't have any female adults. That is interesting. We should have female adults. We currently have 2 of each male. I'm not sure where they all went, but, you know, we do have some young, so they will eventually grow up. That is very, very strange. No, we do. We do. We have 5. Manage auto slaughter. Female adult. It's because they're pregnant. That's why. It's because they're pregnant. We should probably also slaughter pregnant, just to keep this under wraps. Well, no, we can slaughter after the fact, I guess. No, I'm going to turn that on because I think that's what happened with the ducks, is I wasn't slaughtering pregnant, I guess? I don't know. But that'll be fine. We're going to leave it at that. We will slaughter the pregnant animals. Come back to, let's go for 5 of each. I think that'll be okay. And Puma also gained a Psi-Link level, so let's go ahead and get him something else. We'll go for recharge for the moment. That's going to be pretty much unusable until we get batteries or electricity of some kind, but that is going to allow us to move on with this tech tree, get vortex and flash storms and hurricanes, which eventually will be good for us to use. So we'll continue on for a little bit longer here. Our crafting bench is officially complete, and next we're going to move on to the Centurion armor, which I believe is better than the Legionary armor. This will give us 1.88 to 2.35 on sharp damage and 2.82 to 3.53 on blunt damage, and they are probably just going to be assigned to my melee fighters, but we'll see how that goes. It also provides a little bit of insulation from the cold, but not too much. And we can also unlock the helmets, which are a little bit better as well. So we'll start that research, but we did just finish the crafting bench, so we can actually go ahead and put that in. I did go ahead and move the basic manager desk down to the research room. I think that makes the most sense. And we will go ahead and throw in our crafting bench right here. It's already got a seat for it. And once that is complete, I'll copy all of the bills from in here, move them over to here, and that should be good to go. All right, we just got our first delivery from our mining site, and it was granite, which we expected because that's what I ordered. But we're not really working on the walls right now, so I'm thinking we should probably go into this and say, can you please give me marble instead? That's going to give me 230 as well, which is going to be better. And yeah, that will just generally be a better plan than going straight for granite, because we are trying to get all of these floors done. And Medic has also progressed to the 3rd trimester, so we are going to need another crib for them, I think. I don't think Nanan will grow up by the time that that is done, so let's go ahead and build all of that. If I can build it out of something else, that would probably be better. Furniture. Toy box can be made out of steel. That should be absolutely okay. Baby decoration can be made out of, I don't know, marble. That'll be fine. And the crib I would like to make out of wood, just because that is going to be better for comfort than anything else. Our food is currently drying. Everything is going quite well. This psychic rain can go away whenever it likes, because our people are starting to get a little bit sick of being indoors. They are going out every now and then, but it's not that often, and I would really like, you know, that not to be the case. We do have some components stockpiled. Everything is going okay. Everything's okay. Can we make this crafting bench out of anything other than wood? That is a question that I have. It does not appear so. So we're going to queue that back up. This fiber corn should be almost ready to harvest. We may consider doing another tree harvesting run here at some point. And I'm honestly thinking we might have to expand this zone again. And that's going to come all the way out to here. Basically make this square. And maybe that'll be enough wood. We are using a ton of wood for a colony that is not building anything out of wood anymore. But it is what it is. We have all these wood torches. We have all these passive coolers. Everything in that uses wood. It just is what it is. A huge manhunting pack of red pandas has showed up. How many is that? If we go to our numbers tab, that is 24 red pandas, so we are going to have to do something about that. I assume they'll make their way up to here. If they don't, it is what it is. I'm going to put everyone in the shade if I can, and hopefully they just wander up here. We'll deal with about half of them using our traps. This is going to be a ton of meat for us to use as well, which will be fantastic. And we really shouldn't have any problem dealing with these guys, and we'll finally get to see how well our crossbows actually do. As they approach a little bit closer, I am going to spread these guys out just a little bit more. Spread them out all on that line, and come on in, pandas. It pains me to see all of these red pandas dying, but they will go to good use. That is a lot of red pandas. All right, here they come. We'll make sure everyone is using aim shots, because the crossbows are a lot slower to fire. See how that reload time takes a good while. I will probably go ahead and do a breathe flame here, just somewhere in the middle. And we can probably also go ahead and use a chain bolt to deal with these guys a little bit faster. I will continue that going. Let's go for a flame ball. And we should be able to deal with them no problem at all from here on out. Yeah, there's the last one going down now. There we go. We can now undraft everybody, put out this fire, and collect all of that fresh meat. They are all allowed. I don't know if any are actually just downed. I think everyone is dead. So that is going to be a nice amount of meat that we can go ahead and turn into red panda jerky, which is going to be absolutely delicious, I believe. And yeah, we'll go from there. Alright, a couple of bonobos just wandered in. I believe these are monkeys. Yeah, the bonobo is a great ape, a smaller relative of the chimpanzee with a rounder skull and flatter face. Bonobos have longer legs, shorter arms, and a narrower trunk. Bonobos exhibit remarkably different social behaviors from chimpanzees, with an emphasis on peacemaking and sex as a tool to manage and diffuse tension. They are endangered and they are advanced trainability. So you know what? Let's tame them if we can. They may attack upon failed taming attempts. There's a 5% chance. How is our taming skill on this? Like, is that just gonna be good, or I don't know. If we jump into our wildlife here and look for the bonobos, they have 80% wildness. Is there like wild animals stats? Trainability chance. Is that a thing that I can see? Tame a wild animal. Tame chance. There we go. All right. 40%. Not too bad. There's a decent chance we can get it done. The only downside is if they attack Stephanton, I don't know if he's going to be super happy about that. But we will keep an eye on that and see whether or not that actually happens. Hopefully they don't just wander out of the map. And hopefully Stephanton actually goes and does things. Let's see how well this goes. Also, hopefully they don't walk over our traps, because that would be bad. Thankfully, there's not too many in here at the moment, but come on, I would love to have some monkeys. 23% chance. Unfortunate, but maybe we can get the other one, and maybe we can try taming them again before they leave. That would be really, really quite cool. I would love to have some monkeys part of the clan. But we will continue on for the moment. Alright, I've just expanded the pet zone a little bit. That way they can help with hauling some of our plants. They can wander pretty much anywhere. I don't want them inside anymore because now we have floors in most of our rooms. They are still allowed in our storage room just because, you know, they're going to be doing some hauling. But I did go ahead and move Prima Donna's bed outside, as well as put the kibble storage out here as well, which should be good as Ilarius gets stuck again. I really don't understand why this is happening, and it's really quite annoying. They do eventually snap out of it, but I wish it wasn't a thing. Anyway, we will continue on. We have yet another anima linking ceremony ready. I'm going to send Crimson out to go and be a part of that. I'm going to take Anders off of that list, as well as Dragon, just because we can. Send everyone else out there. That'll still be at 100%, and we'll go ahead and get the next level of Psycasts on Lily here, which is going to be Word of Love. This power can be used to connect two other people, induce love for the caster, or force oneself to love another. So that should be good. I don't know how often we will use that, but if we need more babies, maybe we could do some tinkering with that. Like I said before, we're really waiting for the next level after this so that we can go ahead and grab Word of Serenity. But for right now, Word of Love is going to be okay to grab. With that all being said, these floors are still being constructed. That is going to take some time. We're doing okay with wood. I did chop down a little bit more. Our colony seems pretty happy. As soon as this psychic rain goes away, I think that's going to be a good thing. One of the next things I would like to set up though is a hunting site. So that's going to require getting some pawns that are good at shooting, sending them off, and that way we can cull all of the animals that we have in here. I'll probably just keep the donkeys for if we ever decide to travel out with caravans. But for right now, I am going to leave the episode there. If you guys are enjoying the series, make sure to go ahead and leave a like and a comment for the sake of engagement. Consider becoming a member of the channel if you haven't already. You get early access to videos, and Golden Panda members or above get their name in the colony. Consider subscribing if you haven't already as well. And until next time, happy building, happy surviving. Bye, guys.